Talked about it in class, and I volunteered to be one of the head people.
And then everybody kind of just threw their ideas here and there, and we signed up. Kyla, I believe it was, made sheets. You got to sign on what you want to do. You want to be cleanup, MC, co-host, whatever you want to call it. Then
Assistant.
Then there was Ms. Wonkwood's assistant. Just piece together piece by piece.
I went down to the whole observation deck.
Throughout my whole life, I've been ridiculed, and I've encountered a lot of racism. So coming to a high school where the Aboriginal culture is more or less encouraged and supported, it's something different. Like, everybody's gonna have their different opinions. They're gonna see everything differently, but the most that we can do is educate, show them, break the stereotype, show them what actually goes on, what actually happens, and how we actually live our lives, our culture, as opposed to living in teepees.
Great. I don't think we could sum it up in one word. Actually,
It was really different. It was something I can't wait to do it again. Like, whether or not I'm gonna be the same position that I was in this past powwow, I'm still gonna be involved in it next year. Like, it was a great experience having so many people come together, and I would have liked to see more of our older classes, like our senior grades, more involved in it though, because I find that our senior grades are more ignorant and they're just stubborn. Just generalize. Just say that about our culture, more or less, that's where people get the stereotypes from. The panther suit. Not gonna lie, I was supposed to be in the panther suit from 11:30 to noon, but I got moved up. I was in the panther suit for a whole hour. From noon, 11 to noon.
a time anyway.
I made that last. I was just dancing everywhere, spinning my tail. And
I'd say mine, I don't really have a favorite moment. I kind of enjoyed it all. It was great to see how many people came out, and I was the MC's assistant, so I got to do a lot more than a lot of kids would do. So I got to do a bit of this job, a bit of that job. Got to coordinate with Kyla and Nathan a lot, and it was just piecing it all together. I found was the funnest part, and just making it flow.
one of my other favorite moments of the powwow was when we represented the big thingy, like the apology thingy.
I'm pretty sure it was like this big,
from Tristan and Gabriel, and being presented that.
On June 11, 2008, the Prime Minister Stephen Harper presented an official apology from the Federal Government of Canada to the residential school survivors.
Today, we are presenting a framed copy of that apology to the Aboriginal students of Parry Sound High School.
It was recommended by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that every school in the country hang this apology in their school. We will hang ours in the lobby.
To summarize it up, it's just an apology from the Prime Minister about all of the stuff that went on with Aboriginal people being residential schools, the treaties, all of this negative stuff, the disrespect we've encountered.
All the way from Toronto, give them a big round of applause here.
More of a high school involved and more. Actually, I'd like to see other schools bring powwows in, other than just the high school, kind of branch it off. But like Hyla said, outside all the way. More students come, more community members, vendors.
What other events or stuff you would want?
I'd really love to see more drummers and hand drummers, and I really would, and not just everybody, because the amount of drummers that we have, they're all like grade 9s with an occasional him. And there's no women's hand drumming here anymore because nobody's interested in it. So aside from the drumming, I would love to see more people coming into our language classes, our Aboriginal governance classes, our Indigenous studies classes, our arts classes.
Non-native and native, I'd like to see a lot more, because then it, like, the whole powwow was based around eliminating stereotypes and stuff like that. If more people joined in on classes like Kyla said, governing classes, our language program, women's hand drumming, you know, men's drumming, a lot of the stereotypes and stuff would just kind of brush off, because you ask questions as you go along, learning piece by piece.
They'd have more of an understanding, they'd grasp more of the concept of what we mean. I mean, we can preach as much as we want, but for somebody to understand it, they have to take it into their own hands, take it to the next level.